This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, you ever go down to that rent-a-center and you want to get that TV, but you can't afford it, but you get it anyways and you're just renting it? Well, today we're talking about renting, but we're not talking about renting TVs, we're talking about renting a hero. This is Rent a Hero from Yellow. This is for 3 to 5 players. It's pretty quick, a 20-minute card game or so. Let's take a look, as it is a re-implementation of an older game, and I'll see you on the other side. In Rent a Hero, you're trying to get 6 unique heroes in front of you. They are labeled from 1 to 7, and the first one to get 6 unique ones there, meaning 6 of the 7, is going to be the winner. Everyone gets 2 different ones in front of them at the beginning of the game, face up so everyone can see, and everyone gets 5 cards in their hand secretly. On your turn, you're going to take a card off the top, and you're going to place it in the discard pile. You're going to look here, it's going to tell you what you need to send face down to the next player. This says number 5 or higher. So let's say I slide this card down, face down. I picked it from my hand. I know this player knows it has to be 5 or higher. Well, they already have between 5 and higher. There's only one number that they don't have, which is 6. So they think that they might not take it. Because if they took it, and it was one of those numbers, and they flipped it up, both of these cards would fight, and they get discarded, and they're gone, and this player had just lost a hero. And so because of that, they're going to probably pass this on. It comes to them, they're going to go, no, I don't want it. They'll pass it on to the next player. Each player can either take it and flip it up or pass again. If it flips up and they already have that one, that number of theirs is discarded along with the wandering hero. If it is not, then they add it to their tableau, and now they're one closer to having the 6 to win the game. This card possibly could come all the way back around to the person who sent it off in the first place. When that happens, this player has to flip it up. Then, same thing, if it's the same number someone else. So this player could end up hurting themselves, trying to get someone else out, or they could be trying to bluff the others and trying to be able to slide something in. So there's a lot of bluffing and guessing what they might be doing. So let's look at the different types of things people will be passing and the different abilities, because each one of these characters has a special ability. At certain times you can exhaust them and take that special ability up. First, let's look at the different cards that people have to pass. Sometimes you'll have to pass a number 3 or lower, a number between 3 and 5. The number of players or lower, so that will depend on the type of game that you're playing. An odd number, or 3 or lower. Now let's look at some of the special abilities that you could exhaust. If this was in front of you, you could tap it, move it sideways exhausted, and you could nullify somebody else's ability that they're trying to do, sort of a negate effect. This guy, the dog trainer, he could prevent a player from recruiting. So if someone's about to recruit a character that's going around, you could turn and go, nope, you're not recruiting that person. That's used when people are about to win the game. You can ignore the required strength. So if you turn this, you don't have to worry about what this says. You could basically pass anybody you want. This is refresh one of your heroes. So let's say I had one that was already exhausted. I could twist this one and then twist any of my other guys back up and get the special ability back again. We already talked nullify and discard the hero, the vagabond hero. So if this card's coming around and I don't want it, I think I'm going to take it, I can use this and actually just discard it out. Now there's also an advanced tactic called trying for clues. Now if someone passes me this card, I can pass a card back to that player face down. They will look at this and say either yes or no. If they say yes, then this card is exactly the same card that I passed them. If they say no, then it's not. Either way, this card goes face down out of the game so that nobody knows what it is. And now I'm going to have one less card, because at the end of every round that you play a card and you pass a card, at the end of that round you're going to pick up a card. So you're always going to have the same amount of cards, 5 at the beginning of your turn. But if you guess a clue, now you're going to have one less card, so you have less options and things like that. But it is a good way to try to figure out if you're trying to narrow down whether a card is something you should take or you should not. And the game ends, and the winner is the one that gets 6 unique heroes in front of them. If the draw deck runs out beforehand, the person who has the most is the winner at that point. And if it's a tie at that point, then whoever has the least amount of heroes discarded is the winner. Now this game was originally printed as a game called 7th Hero a few years ago, and it's one that I reviewed and I enjoyed quite a bit. There's really no difference from play, but they put their yellow spin on the artwork. It went from what used to be sort of seriously warrior-ish, dark sort of fantasy world to a light, fun world, and I like the light fun better. That's just my personal style. I always love Yellow's artwork. They tend to come in and redo games that I've since gotten rid of, but then keep because the artwork makes it so much fun. And I had still had 7th Hero, but I'm gonna be keeping this one instead because A, the box is smaller, fits on the shelf better, and I like the art. It's very light and bright. The game itself is a lot of fun. If you've never played it, it's really fun and simple that you're sending this hero around, and this person, you're either trying to stick it to them and have them trick them into flipping it up so that they lose one of their guys, or you're trying to do it to somebody else, or you're trying to slide one around and take a quick one and get one for yourself. And it's a lot of fun when you send one around, you're like, ha ha, I got this one, I fooled you guys. Sometimes it's very tense when you're sending someone that could actually crush one of your guys and you're hoping they take it, and there's a lot of tension there too, and it's a lot of fun. My favorite is with 3. With 3 players, there's an equal amount of feeling of being able to bluff something by and not, and it makes the game perfect in my opinion. With 4 or 5, the game's fine. There's just less likely that it's going to come all the way around, so that bluffing aspect isn't as likely. So 3 or 4 is definitely my favorite. 5's iffy. But overall, it's a really fun, quick game that didn't get enough buzz when it was out fully. If you've missed it then, I highly recommend you get to this now. And because, again, it's a smaller box, better artwork, I'm actually keeping this one. So let's induct it properly into the gaming library with a saxophone serenade.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.